Hey guys. Yeah, it does feel off. It does. I mean, where do we even begin with this? That's kind of where we're at right now. It's like where do I start? Um Truly a now what moment. I wouldn't really say it that. Uh I'll be completely honest with you guys. I've always had this scenario set up in the back pocket. I always have. Always, always have. As crazy as it is to think that some forethought would go into SMG4 ending, it's something that I've never really wanted to actually look into. But it was always something that I had to unfortunately keep at the ready should it ever occur. I mean, when you do this for 10 years, you've kind of got to think to yourself, eventually it's going to happen. Like, ironically, what I said about puzzles and weapons possibly returning actually makes sense about SMG4 ending as it is. It was never a matter of if, it was always a matter of when. And, well, yeah, we do have our answer for that. December 27th. Roughly 2 months from now. Ironically enough, the final Saturday of 2025. It is funny how that ends up. I'm just going to put this one out there first off before anyone starts thinking like what the long pause and everything. I don't have any script or talking points or anything of the sort. None whatsoever. I am freely speaking my mind as is. I've turned the camera on. I have the relaxing music for deep sleep and anxiety relief, melatonin release, stop overthinking music playing because it sounds nice. Whether it's actually effective or not, I could not tell you, but I'm just at least putting it out there. Yeah, apparently Luke wants to make videos every Saturday dedicated to a specific character. That's exactly what the plan is going to be. So, judging by that, then, we've got, if no Saturday is skipped over, and that we have an upload that happens every Sunday until the 27th when the book closes, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 9. We have 9 episodes remaining. Like, I mean, I don't even know where to I don't even know where to really begin. I will say I find it kind of ironic that my 10-year anniversary of SMG4 Reactions will never exceed 10 years now. I'm not going to see 15, God forbid, 20 years. Guess you have a lot to think about too for your own content and all. We'll get to that. We'll get to that eventually. Like I said, I always knew this day was gonna happen eventually. Like, I've had pretty much all of today right now to really mull things over, really think things through and everything. And I mean, I've come to accept it. Like I said, this day was going to happen eventually. It wasn't a matter of if, it was a matter of when. This was always going to happen. We just needed to get that out of the way right now. Like, nothing is forever. Nothing is forever. And that's always something that we're always going to be warring with. We're always going to be fighting against the end, the inevitable, all of it. And I know some people are going to find that very hard to accept. They don't want this to be it. They want it to continue. They want to see more and more and more, and that is the problem. I fully respect the decision to end it. I fully expected this to happen, and I respect it. And I never explained the door thing. The door thing is probably going to open on the final episode as SMG4 says goodbye and leaves what is now canonically the true exit. I'm going to call that right now. That boarded up door is the true exit. That's what I'm going to hold it to. Love to be proven wrong. But that's going to be a true exit to end the series as a whole. Or it could just be a red herring that never got addressed. Either or. We may find out. We may not. Don't know. We'll see. But back to my topic of it being the end. Of us putting all of this to bed, and why I say that is a good thing. I say that it ending now is good. And hear me out on this one. As the others proclaim to be #1 SMG4 reactor on the planet, their title, not mine, I'm just another one. This is good. Because I've seen what happens when something like a show or a movie, a story in and of itself, simply refuses to end. And it spirals. It spirals on and on and on, and you get so lost. You become so overwhelmed, and it loses its meaning. It loses what makes it important. And to any newcomer that comes along that tries to grasp at what's going on, they're going to be overwhelmed. And they're not going to know what to do, except probably not even try to grasp it or anything. Personal example for me is probably One Piece. I straight up refuse to do anything with One Piece because there's too much. Because there's no definitive end. That series, however good it may be, is still going. It still refuses to end. And I look at that series and I say, that's too much. I'm never going to be able to comprehend that. I'm never going to be able to get into it because there's just no end. So I just don't. And we have probably the best examples here on YouTube as a whole of stories that have said their piece, have had their characters go through their arcs and end. Meta Runner, Sunset Paradise, Murder Drones, Amazing Digital Circus, Gaslight District, Knights of Guinevere, all of them have conclusive endings planned. And I love that. I love the finality of it all. I love that the Amazing Digital Circus has an ending. An ending that is going to arrive sooner rather than later. I love that Murder Drones did its thing, told its story, and left. I love that about that. I love the fact that Meta Runner got 3 full seasons to tell its story, and then it ended. It was done. The story was told, the characters had their growth, their arcs, their finality, and it ended. And I feel as though with Luke and Kevin doing all of this with Glitch Productions and seeing all these shows come and go, start and end, I feel like Luke was looking at SMG4 and he could see the spiral coming. He could see it spiraling into irrelevancy, to this overwhelming monster of a series, and he knew he had to stop. He didn't want it to go over the edge. He didn't want it to just become something unrecognizable. Like, you look at big example right now, and I think a lot of you would be able to agree with me on this. The MCU, Marvel, all those freaking movies and shows and everything. Don't you feel overwhelmed by it? Don't you feel like there's just no point in watching anything from Marvel anymore just because of the scope and its refusal to just stop? Like, there's still freaking Avengers Doomsday, and God knows what happens after that. Don't you feel like it's too much? Like, after Endgame, it should have been done, dusted. We're putting this one to bed, and we're moving on to something else. Like, it's not to say you can't make more Marvel movies that have different characters, telling different stories and everything, but this one continuous story that refuses to die, that's the problem. Because you look at this monstrosity that's going on with Marvel, and it's completely unrecognizable from what Phase 1 itself used to be. That is the problem that Luke and everyone at SMG4 are reverting. That's why I say it ending at the end of the year is a good thing. It is why I am not crying over the fact that it is ending. It is why I am not so torn up about it, because it needs to end to avoid it becoming this thing that is so unrecognizable. Am I hurt that it's ending? Of course. I will always be hurt by something that I've grown to love and to cherish. That's such a massive staple in my life. It hurts to see it end. I won't equate it to losing a loved one. That is far out of the realm of any sort of connection whatsoever. It still hurts to see this series that you've been watching, for me personally, literally a decade, that is so personally responsible for everything that you see on the screen right now. Like, it's going to be cheesy for me to say this, and it's going to be sappy, it's going to be crybaby style, overdramatic and everything, but I'm just going to freaking say it. Without SMG4, none of you guys would be here with me. In no way, shape, or form. Without SMG4, none of us would be here. That's why it hurts more. It's why I have to fire this stream up to talk about it. I can't just let this sit and ferment until Saturday. I have to speak my mind. I have to. I already know Reddit's like already breaking out the cake and the birthday candles in celebration. But they're like, finally, that thing we love is dying. The anti-fans, as it is. Oh, they need to get a job. Anyway, I always am all for throwing shade in their direction because they deserve it. Yeah, this, like I said, I always knew this sort of announcement would happen. This was an inevitability. It was always going to freaking happen. It was just like a normal SMG4 video, though. Impossible to predict when. Or how. But I have a sneaking suspicion as to why. And you always go back to that. I call it the funeral quote. Don't be sad that it's over. Be happy that it was there. And thankfully, the channel as a whole, the whole SMG4 shebang and everything, ain't going anywhere. That whole thing is going to be preserved. Every single video that SMG4 has ever uploaded from the beginning to the end is going to be right freaking there, waiting for anyone else to stumble upon and bear witness to. Sure, some of the videos might be a little bit dated. Sure, some of the jokes in those videos might not fly anymore. But it's a perfect encapsulation of the internet as a whole. You see the trends ebb and flow through the videos themselves. I may need a new outro, though. I mean, the outros were always just for whatever reaction video I was doing at that time. That was just always the SMG4 reaction outro. That always was it. I've always had ones for the Glitch Production shows. I've had the ones for the Helliverse shows. I've had plenty other ones for everything else. So I do need to kind of get to the overall elephant in the room as far as us are concerned. And first I need to discuss the big one. And that would be reacting and racing. As anyone here would know, the standard procedure for a Saturday morning / afternoon / evening stream was react to the new SMG4 upload and then switch to insert racing game of the hour here. Whether that be Mario Kart World, whether that be Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, or soon to be Kirby Air Riders, it was always going to be that. That was the standard procedure. So, what happens to reacting and racing? I mean, it's rather simple. The title remains the exact same. We will always still be reacting and racing on Saturdays. I may change the time since I'm not bound to SMG4's uploads. I'll make a community post about that, seeing whether or not to change the usual reacting and racing time. But there is still plenty that can be done. There is still plenty that I could do. I can switch it up so that the police body cam reactions that we do from time to time take its place for the time being, until whatever other system I can figure out makes sense. Like, I don't know if we set up like some sort of playlist of things to look at. I know Neveavol does like several different, like a whole react night over on their stream. They've got their system down, and I will have to look into other things as well. I'll just have to keep it on Saturday. It was always going to be Saturday. It's just whether or not I wanted to do it the same hour on Saturday. Do I want to keep it in the morning? Do I want to gear it more towards afternoon? Do I want to push it a little bit more into the evening? That. Do SML reactions. So that was something that thought did cross my mind. There was Super Mario Logan. I kind of need to address that as well, because it's like in a similar vein. That I'm going to get a little bit divisive here. I'm not going to get political, God no. I'm going to get a little divisive here, and I may upset some people here. But I've said this before in the past. It was probably forgotten because it's been years since the last time I've mentioned it. I am not a fan of SML. I find the content unappealing. I don't really see the point of watching it. I can't separate the channel from the IRL controversies that I was privy to learning about. I cannot separate those two from each other. It just is. And it's also, in a roundabout way, an example as to why SMG4 ending is a good thing. Because you look at SML, and you wonder where it's going. How far has it been spiraling? It's just been going, and going, and going. Needless to say, that thought did cross my mind. And I came to a realization that, in hindsight, whenever I've thought about SML, the first thought that comes to my mind is thusly. Is he still playing with those puppets? That's literally always the first thought that comes into my head when I think of Super Mario Logan. It's the first thing every single freaking time. Is he still playing with those puppets? And I'm immediately just like, I'm fine. I'm a 33-year-old man. I don't have any investment in SML. Take that for what you will. If you're a fan of the series, by all means, enjoy it. If you get a kick out of it, that's fine. I ain't got nothing wrong with that. I just don't find it interesting to watch. I don't find it entertaining to experience. Honestly, I find it boring. And I just don't really see any reason to invest in it, as it were. And from what I'm seeing in the chat, I am to avoid it at all cost, because A, it's already bad, and B, its current iteration is worse. I'm not going to do anything with Skibbity Toilet. Needless to say, on this channel, I have standards. And that is one that I won't touch with an 11-foot barge pole that's been sterilized and being held by somebody else. I just will not. Vanoss? I could go back to Vanoss. Theoretically could. I know he's got the compilation channel going, so I could always fire up one of those and see what we find. Legends of Evantris is too far in. I can't do any compilations there because I actually stay up to date with them, so that's out of the question as well. Unfortunately, it just is. I could do, like, since Mina's been getting into VTubing and I find myself becoming more and more acquainted with other VTubers like VR and Neveavol, I could do like some silly VTuber compilations and stuff. I could figure things out. There's a plethora of other forms of reacting that I can do on the channel that aren't SMG4 related. There's an entire world of possibilities out there. I'm staring off into the void and I'm thinking, look at all of this wonderful content that could be a suitable replacement. Look at all of this possibility. It's entirely something that could be done. What about FNAF? I don't play horror games. It's like me and spicy food. I don't go through it to feel awful and miserable and anxious and everything. I play games and eat food to enjoy them, not suffer through them. Smash House, I read all those as they were coming out, so again, that one's off the table too, unfortunately. Oh yeah, I'll get behind the FNAF lore all over the place, but you will not find me playing any of the FNAF games here. You will not find me playing a single horror game over here either. I like to enjoy my games, not suffer through them. There's a complete, distinct difference. Put a channel in the Discord where people can submit videos for you to react to. Do I have one of those? I feel like I had that already. Unless I got rid of it after a while. I could refresh it. Technically, there is a funny videos here. I could double up and just do that. Theoretically speaking. That is something that could be done. To that end, Link, your idea there. The Roblox side of things, I'll leave that to you guys. But the Gmod side, we'll have to see what the 27th looks like, because that is holiday weekend-ish stuff. So we may need to push that back a little bit. It's cutting it close as well. With the holidays and everything, because Christmas and all that other stuff. So that is something to consider, that we can go out with a bang as well. Could make a video or two out of that, depending on how well it goes. Something like that. Do BFDI reactions if you want. I'll have to look into what that actually is. Look that up real quick. I'm not sure about that one. I'll consider it, but I'm not. No offense, I'm not really vibing with what I'm seeing here. But I'll consider it. I'll look into it a little bit. So yeah, we've got options. We've got ways of moving forward, and that's not to say that it's like, oh, all of this is just going to be do a Homestuck pilot reaction. It might. It's Spindle Horse related. It's Helliverse adjacent. So what about Indie Cross? Might look into that too. I've got options for whatever's going to replace SMG4 as far as reacting and racing is concerned. On top of that, though, I had made a members only post about this a while back. So the few of you that are still members and actually have access to that, there's a channel called SMG4 Accommodations, which a group of people make old style SMG4 videos. And see, that's another possibility as well. No offense to Luke, Kevin, and everyone that's responsible for SMG4 videos. They're not the most difficult videos to make. If you're anything like me, you were on the internet when the Gmod Idiot Box series was brand spanking new. You were there when Kitty0706 was still doing his thing. You were there when there were plenty of other slapstick Gmod videos being pumped out and were freaking hilarious back in the day. At that time, SMG4 was just another one doing just that. He just perfected the craft. So there's always going to be what I like to call Gmod slapstick videos. There's always going to be somebody that's making the Gmod slapstick videos. And Minecrafty, thank you for becoming a member to try and find that post. Going back to that post, though. React to songs. It's something I could do before anybody gets to it. As far as songs are related, I have seen all of Epic the Musical. I've seen basically every animatic of Epic the Musical that is out there. So unfortunately, Epic is off the table. Ilium, when it comes out, is a completely different story. That one I will tackle as it comes out. That one I will grab by the horns and wrestle into submission. There's a relatively new channel called Vujin. I'm just going to pronounce it as Vujin. That has been uploading some high quality Mario animations. There's an option. Exactly. I may make a dedicated channel to reaction ideas. I might do that. Why am I ignoring you? Because the chat's going crazy and my thoughts are going all over the place as well. I see you guys, and I'll be able to review everything that's coming out later, but I will probably need to make a new text channel in the Discord that's about, like, reaction ideas. I wasn't doing it before because it was just kind of getting flooded and we kind of fell into a groove as a whole. So, that might be what I do right now. Create text channel. Reaction ideas. We'll move it up past fan art so that people can actually get a look at it and actually see it. So people could start dropping ideas down there. Now back to my other talking point that I was going to make as far as, like, other stuff that I've been working on in the background. I mentioned this briefly. I don't know if I had mentioned it on Discord or in a past stream. I know I mentioned it on Twitter, but I know not everybody's on Twitter, so I know how that can get lost in the sea. I am looking into expanding the kind of content that I make, and this was always something that I've been trying to work on way before this whole thing was going on. Like, literally, I want to say that I kind of had the inception of my first long-form video content idea way back at Puzzle Park during that whole storyline. So we've been way out planning ahead for all this other stuff, and I've only now gotten around to finalizing a script, recording audio, and I've begun the editing process. So I'm looking into doing, like, video essay styles of, like, longer form content that are of a more serious tone. Maybe they can be a little bit funny on the side as well. There's other things. The first idea that I have in the video that I'm working on is literally titled How Disney Missed the Infinite Money Glitch. I'm not going to explain what any of that means. You will just have to wait and see when the video gets uploaded. And I'll say this as far as where it stands right now. I have begun editing that sucker. It's going to be a while before that video is ready, but I am dedicating a lot of time to getting it going. I do have plenty of other ideas as far as long-form video essay, thought-provoking content is concerned. One that I have been toying around with a lot, and I can kind of spoil a little bit of it just because of the overall premise of it. The video being simply titled, Why Did You Post This? And I'm going to be, Raz and Mina know exactly what the Infinite Money Glitch is. I've confided in them about it. So that's what the thumbnail for your post a month ago meant. Exactly. Exactly, Minecrafty. That's the thumbnail for how Disney missed an infinite money glitch. He talked about it he talked for hours about it. Yes! You see how I can make content out of this. Simple premise. But going back to the second long form idea, why did you post this? Is the title of the video, where I'm going to at least try and look at the logical, philosophical, maybe emotional reasons why people post things that normal people wouldn't think to post. Like, if you ever sat down and watched like a TikTok or a YouTube short where someone just literally makes a fool of themselves and then asks, why did you post this? I'm going to make a whole video on that phenomenon. I have options. I have many ideas that are floating around in my head as to what I can do with stuff like that. Could bring back the SCP content. That's another one, Duat. That is another idea as well. Yeah, I've got plenty of ideas going forward. And as far as reaction content is concerned, we will find a substitute. Multiple substitutes, for that matter. We can most certainly make it work. SCP is a bit outdated, but good idea. Oh, SCP is never outdated. SCP is never freaking outdated. They just got done with their SCP-9000 contest, so now the 9000 series is on its way. Good God, what is going to happen when they reach 10,000? I am terrified to see how that would go. Oh, boy. I do kind of consider this stream a little bit therapeutic, hopefully for everybody here as well, as we just kind of digest exactly what the next 2 months are going to be like. And just to be reassuring and rest assured on all fronts here, we are going to be fine. Everything's going to be okay. The SMG4 channel itself isn't going anywhere. All the old videos are going to be there from start to finish. Luke isn't going to just drop off the face of the earth and never be seen again. He and Kevin have glitch productions that they're working on. That may have had a reason as to why he can't fully dedicate to SMG4 either. There's a lot of different moving parts as to why this decision was made, and I respect the decision. I don't see how this was always not going to happen. Field glitch was a big part of the decision. It's a reason. I think we can safely say that running an entire indie animation studio essentially by yourself might take some time out of your schedule from doing other stuff like that. Hobo Bros come back when? Now there's an idea, meme. They could revive Hobo Bros as just like a fun little side gig where Luke and Kevin can just react to memes of their own. That's entirely possible. That would be fun to see. Are they handled by and animated by different teams? Yes, but both Luke and Kevin oversee both of them. And who's to say? That may not be a reason at all. I can see how it can be a reason. I most definitely can see how that could be a reason. But at the same time, it might not be the reason. Who knows? I don't work at Glitch Productions. I don't work for SMG4. I'm just some guy from Missouri. What do you want from me? Like, literally, what do you want from me? I live in a perpetual state of misery. But it's spelled like the state name. Viger's gonna miss the Pingus memes. You'd think that SMG4 was the only place that those existed from. My brother in Christ, you are not a YouTube poop connoisseur like I am. And in all honesty, that could be another idea too. It could be another idea that I could toy around with, but that can be dangerous territory to tread in on a live stream, because you just don't know what somebody's going to have somebody say in a certain way. It's like, which one of these videos is going to get me canceled today? Like literally Russian roulette and see which one's gonna cap my channel. As much as I would want to do it, it's just like there have been, and I don't know if they've matured over time or if they've stuck to their same 2010s crude humor. I don't know if it would be kosher to do that on a live stream. So, but it's still an idea to ponder as a possibility. Dicks out for SMG4. Now keep it in your pants. Let's be mature about this. Let's be very, very mature about this. But yeah, if you guys have suggestions as to what I could possibly look into as for possible reacted and racing material to work with, I have made now a reaction ideas text channel in the Discord server. So drop them there and leave them at that. 2005 YouTube will never be beat. Well, that was the freaking Wild West. You're just perusing. So that's what that looks like. Interesting. Well, there's my Pocky sticks. They have been funded. Why did it go twice? That was you contributing the first time, and then that was it being fully funded. So, I'm going to assume, Minecrafty, because you're notorious for doing that, thank you for the Pocky sticks. Over on Throne. Light arrow reactions could be good. I'd have to see which ones I haven't looked at yet, because I know I saw the multiplayer Super Mario 64 video that they made, so that one's off the table. I'll have to look into that too. It's going to do the but didn't want to ruin the mood towards the start. That's entirely fair, Minecrafty. That is entirely fair. I forgot the sound effect was like that. Most people do, because nobody really contributes to the throne anymore. Not forcing anybody. It's just like me on the internet. It's just there. So, and we leave it at that. Terminal montage. That's another one that we could introduce. I could make I like reacting and racing itself, because I don't normally do much on a Saturday as is, and they only go for like a couple hours at best, depending on turnout. If I have more material to work with, I could extend the stream for longer. I could. By leaving the, also at the same time, by leaving what material being reacted to as ambiguous, adding a little air of mystery to it, perhaps. It's entirely possible that it's just like everybody could be here and be like, oh, what's he gonna watch today? And then it would just be like, oh, that's what he's watching. Cool. Kind of play fast and loose with, you never know what I'm gonna be watching. Much in the same way of like, you never know what sort of story SMG4 is cooking up. How about a top 10 of your favorite SMG4 videos? Could do that. That honestly would have to be like a standalone stream. Probably after all is said and done. I will say this. December 27th will be dedicated to just that final upload. I will not watch anything else except that on stream. We'll probably follow up with like a top 10, put it in a tier list or something. Before anyone even contemplates it, I am not doing a tier list of SMG4 videos. There's over 1,000 of those mother yuckers. I'm not doing that. I can do a top 10 of my favorite. I can do a top 10 of my favorites with some honorable mentions. Let's be reasonable here. Let's be very, very reasonable. I already know what my number one is. I already know several honorable mentions. Probably the most difficult ones to do will probably be like the 10, the 9, the 8s, and so on. As I get further down into the better ones, I can kind of funnel in exactly which ones are the best of the best. So, tier list of the arcs. That would be a lot simpler. That would be much simpler. Death Battle. Death Battle's kind of like a hit or miss for me. Most of the time when I do watch a Death Battle, it's always about characters I don't really know about or have any investment in. And the last time I actually did do a Death Battle reaction, I got a lot of hate for it. Because I guess I didn't side properly. So I kind of see where that sort of goes, and it's unnecessary arguments and divisions and negativity that I don't want any part of that. I'll watch Death Battle in my free time and maybe discuss it later. I try to keep things positive. I try to keep things motivational. I try to make sure that all are welcome here, no matter what walk of life you come from. All that I ask is that you leave your hate at the door. And we can go from there. A Watch Mojo style of my top 10 favorite SMG4 videos. That would go friggin' hard. It would have to really crank up the editing style, though. I might just rip the Watch Mojo intro and then just like slap my face or initials on it. But have like the same cadence and stuff as we discuss it. How about some Russian Badger? The new stuff I'll have to get into as well. The old stuff, seen it. I would have to be like, starting now, anything he uploads later, I would have to do that. Same with Maxor. Anything that he uploads after this point that I'm talking about right now at this time, on October 29th, 2025, free game. Although Maxor might be a little bit difficult because most of the time when I do watch his videos, I'm just put into an overstimulated coma and there's not much going on. This really has turned into just like, what do we do now? And the options are going through the roof. We are basically now just spitballing exactly what it is that we're going to be doing post December 27th. And by the looks of things, the options are plentiful. The options are extremely plentiful. Because yeah, I'm looking at some of the things that have been posted, and I have seen the Shenanigans versus Shadow Raid boss. I've seen that one. So far, that's the only one that I have seen. So there is a lot of potential. Methinks we'll survive. Methinks we've got this. And just at the same time, it's like, as things stand right now, as far as what we do here on the channel, I have a lot of different pieces moving in concert with each other. I have lots of things that are going on in the background, everything that's we do normally and everything, and it's just one facet of this channel that is going away. Granted, it is a very big facet of this channel, but last I checked, Reactin' and Racing wasn't ever called SMG4 Reactin' and Racing. So it was never always intended to be that. My channel was never always entirely dedicated to that. My channel was never started because of that. I actually started my channel when I wanted to upload my epic Halo Reach montage moments. And I didn't make those just for, like, garnering views and stuff. I just uploaded it because I wanted to. I made, more or less at that time, I had used my YouTube channel as basically a video storage device. And even to this day, I still kind of do that. The sessions that I record with my Pokemon Tabletop United crew go unlisted up on my channel. You won't find them. They're not entirely uploaded. So, that's another idea that I wanted to shoot by the guys when we start our 4th campaign. God, our 4th campaign. I want to try and upload it to the channel. If not this channel, the Puckle channel. But somewhere I want to put this freaking campaign out there. Either or. It's another idea that I've been floating around in my head. So what will your outro be when the last video gets uploaded? Same as always. Probably going to have to end with the continues into the future. Ironically enough. Can we do other stuff? We kind of blended into the other stuff where we're now just trying to plot ahead of what it is that we're going to be doing later. Like post December 27th, when we enter into 2026, what is it that we're going to freaking do? SMG4 made us a family. Hit the nail right on the head, Jezza. Hit the freaking nail on the goddamn head. I opened this up with, and I made that statement a while back that SMG4 is the reason why you guys are here. SMG4 is the reason why I'm doing this right now. I literally have too much to thank Luke and Kevin for. I think it's pretty safe to say, and I'm not over exaggerating or anything. I just need to double check this. Make sure I have the correct number here. No, I don't need to do that. I need this. I have, actually I can go into YouTube Studio and get the right number. I have 52,994 reasons to thank SMG4 for everything that he's done. Quite freaking literally. Is it a little bit sad that this channel is all hinged on another? I don't really think so. But there is that connection there. There is that glue that binds us all together. And in all honesty, I would not have it any other way. Like I said, I'm happy that it's ending. I'm happy that we can definitively put a pin in everything and say thank you. I am so thrilled to be in this kind of position where I can talk to you guys about this stuff and we can reminisce about it. It's very, very nice that we're all in this kind of position. That we can definitively say through so many different moments that we were there. We all came in at such an opportune moment that we got to see all aspects of SMG4 from start to finish. Because at the start, SMG4 was just nothing more than a glorified shitpost channel. We got to see in real time that evolution into something bigger. And it's like, because we got to see the slapstick, the Gmod slapstick humor. We got to see the ha-ha funny videos and everything. And then the rejection arc dropped. And we were like, wait a minute, something else is going on here. Then we got the next arc. And the next. Then Zero came into the picture. Then Desti got shanked. We got to see all of this stuff in real time. That is so amazing to be in. Still on Windows 10 or something. Yeah, I got that Windows 10 friggin' antivirus block. Be like, oh, we're still kicking. But we got to see SMG4 evolve. And that was crazy to see. Because if I could go back 10 years ago and tell my past self what this channel would evolve into and the kinds of stories and characters it would tell and meet, my past self would think I was crazy. What, you mean this friggin' shit? I'm gonna be taking this seriously? You gotta be kidding me. Somebody's gonna frickin' die in this series? I don't know what sort of drugs you're on, but clearly you're out of your mind. And then the anime arc hit, and nothing was ever the same again. We got original reoccurring characters, we got overlapping stories, we got highs, we got lows, we got characters triumphantly succeeding, we had death now as an aspect on the table. Nothing was the same after the anime arc, because now literally anything was possible. The Waluigi arc opened the door and showed that there can be continuity. Like, there can be callbacks to other episodes that mean something now, later on. My nose is starting to dry out and it's starting to itch. Yeah, Psycho, if you keep posting the shipping stuff, mods, you're free to engage. I do a reaction to all the Mario Does Things series post 9. It's a possibility. We got options. Thank you, Mina. I wasn't going to say anything, and I was hoping that I would just take the troll route and be like, if I ignore it, it will go away. Yeah, we've got options. We got options. It's gonna be different come January. It's gonna be very, very different. I'll make a post later today, maybe in a couple days or so. I don't know. So by the sound of it, Reactin' and Racing's going to stay on. It's still going to stay on Saturday. The day of the week that Reactin' and Racing happens is not going to change. The time it might happen might be a little bit in flux, and I might play around with that. Because ordinarily, at around 11:30 U.S. Central Time is when Reactin' and Racing usually starts. I could possibly change that. It's entirely possible that I could have Reacting and Racing pushed a little bit further back into the afternoon or evening. I'll make a poll or something on my YouTube community tab, and we'll see what the general consensus is, either to change the time of the day or keep it the same. And if we do change the time of the day, I'll make a separate post. I'll make a separate post with like different suggestions as to what time to change it to. We will see what happens. We will see what happens. Things could change. Things could stay the same. We don't know. We don't frackin' know. PT or ET? CT. Technically, Logan. Get with the times. I live in Missouri. There is only one time zone, and everyone else is wrong. Fight me. Oh, boy. Snapcube fan dub coming in a few minutes. Yeah. Against Mina and Raz's better judgment, episode 2 comes out later tonight. You thought you could escape it, man. You can't. Being a Kingdom Hearts fan, you don't get a choice in the matter. You're just another piece of the puzzle for that. You know everything about Kingdom Hearts. I know nothing, so it's physical enjoyment for me, and it's physical pain for you. Who am I gonna main in Air Riders? I think I said it before on stream previously. I'll be maining Magalore on the Transform Star. And I'm gonna orange the shit out of that Transform Star as best as I freaking can. So there's a lot to consider. I haven't watched SMG4 for years now, but I remember watching your reactions as soon as I could after new episodes released. Now I really got to catch up because It's Gotta Be Perfect was the last SMG4 video I watched. Boy howdy, dropped mic. You are going to be in for a wild ride. Thank you for the $20, by the by. You are going to be in for quite the ride. Because, yeah. I think that's all I can really say at this point. You're gonna experience something. A hell of a something. There's no way you can react to much older SMG. Way too much controversial stuff. You know, I mean, it. Oh man. Yeah. I mean, I look back 10 years ago during the 10-year anniversary stream that I did, and we looked back at my original reaction to the Super Happy Fun Game Show video. Hard N-bomb within like the first 2 minutes of the video. And I was like, I really have to pick and choose which videos I'm allowed to put up on stream. Oops! Completely forgot! I forgot what was acceptable 10 years ago. Oh, man. I will have to go through, like, make a dedicated video of just, like, not only just, like, my top 10 favorite SMG4 videos, but just also, like, top 10 favorite SMG4 whatever. Favorite characters, favorite storylines, all this other favorite jokes that were said. There's still plenty of things I can do to reminisce, to remember, and to pay tribute like it's freaking dying. It's not. It's just stopping. The channel stays there. All the videos stay there. It's fine. It's gonna be there. You can still watch all of them as is, no matter how long it's been. It just is. That literally is just what it is right now. But like I said, I knew this was going to happen. It would have to happen. Like, do you honestly... Let's put this into perspective. Let's say this doesn't happen. And SMG4, after the 27th, continues uploading. There was no mention of, oops, we're ending the series now. There was no mention of it. And they just keep going. Do you honestly think that Luke is going to continue doing this when he's like 60 freaking years old? Do you honestly think he will? Do you want to see 60-year-old SMG4 content? I don't think you do. Because that's what happens when you let that thing go forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. And I'm not saying like, oh, 60-year-old SMG4 in the universe. No, I'm talking about 60-year-old Luke slaving away at the keyboard trying to make more of this stuff. You've been doing this till you're 90. Yeah, I probably would. Do you want to see 90-year-old me reacting to all this? I'll be begging for the sweet release of death by then. As funny as it would be, old man SMG4 making more videos on YouTube, and I'm not talking about in the video himself, I'm talking about IRL 60-year-old Luke slaving away at the keyboard. You don't want that. You may think you do. You don't. And that's what happens when it doesn't end. Because you also would have to understand, and I know people would be rioting in the streets if they did. If they continued doing this, they would have to swap so many VAs. And you know what happens the last time they did that? It did not go well. It did not go well. And that was more or less accidental. You honestly think that things would go well if they intentionally replaced Maggie's voice with somebody else? Put that into perspective. You don't want that. Maggie got the most changed voice. Yeah, we went from Lizzie Freeman to Elsie Lovelock. We went from Pomni to Uzi, essentially. So yeah, you look at it from that perspective and you're like, no, it's good as is. Don't change it. A lot has happened, that's for sure. Oh yeah. A lot has happened. Guys, I've got an idea formulating in the old noodle. This would work out so well for them. It's nothing too crazy, but I could just see Glitch Productions making new shows about all the SMG4 characters isolated from each other like they did with Tari and Meggy. You want to see that Psycho anime? You want to see Melanie doing her own thing as a fruit god? You want to see Karen and the kids navigating new life as she rom-com style finds a new husband? There, you got options. You got frickin' options. You got a bunch of original characters to work with. You want to see Bob and Fishy trying to just get through life in general. And they're all Glitch shows. Every single one of them. It's the end of their story in the SMG4 continuity. Not in Glitch continuity. Because as we remember, as far as Meta Runner was concerned, there are 2 Taris. Technically with Sunset Paradise, that's the same Meggy. But who's to say she couldn't go back to the island? Who's to say that Psycho could not get up to some anime-related shenanigans? Who's to say Melanie could not fully ascend to godhood? And God knows what would happen if Bob and Fishy were left to their own devices. You see where I'm coming at here. Luke, Kevin, if you're listening, hire me. I can storyboard for you. Or I can at least pitch new ideas. Chris and Swag get their own series. They kind of do. It's called Arby and the Chief. That's how old I am. Oh, brother. That's even more like... Oh, that would not fly in this era. Just make my own damn anime already. I would have to be artistically gifted. I am not. I need somebody else to do the heavy lifting for me. We already got the idea for an anime. Yes, the anti-ship rom-com. You pair 2 people together that get along so well with each other that you would think that they're dating, but the anime goes above and beyond to show you, no, they're not. No matter how much you want to ship them, they ain't. So yeah, I think it's pretty much confirmed Puzzles and Weapons are actually donezo. It is what it is. I think it's just curiously, out of everything, I already know, like, when we get to the 27th, he's going through every single character. Like, SMG4 is having a moment with every single character of significant importance in the series. So you know for damn certain that on the 27th, it's Mario's turn. I don't know what's going to happen there. Because there's a possibility. Because if anyone knows during the Genesis arc how it all went down, before SMG4 showed up, Mario was actually just straight up normal. He had his mental faculties, he was just a normal dude, he was basically Mario. And then SMG4 came along and the freaking USB drive zapped Mario's brain into mush, and it became the Mario we know in the series. You wonder if, after all is said and done, that process gets reversed. Would that be a good thing? Because then it kind of begs the question if Mario was just more like... I can't really describe it any way else. Enslaved to the content. You wonder. I don't know. I really don't know. We'd have to see what happens, because there are moments, as like the last episode showed, Mario does have his moments of lucidity. So the question is whether or not he gets it all back. That's quite the question to ask. If I'm going to be brutally honest, that is quite the question that needs to be asked if, at the end of the day, that's what happens. It's curious. We don't know. We do not know. Like I've said thousands and thousands and thousands of times before, trying to predict SMG4 is next to impossible. You can only come up with a few running ideas, but whatever happens is just whatever's going to happen. And you are completely and utterly powerless to try and stop it. But it would be an interesting final plot point to sort of tie up. What if the boarded up door is the original Mushroom Kingdom before everything got mucked up, and that's where Mario goes to be free? Quite literally walking through the door and moving on. That would be interesting. We will see. We will just have to wait and see 2 months from now. What's the importance of March 9th? I'm not following. Nothing's coming to mind at the moment. Oh, March 9th was when MadPad made his last theory. Ah, okay. It's our March 9th on December 27th as far as, like, retirements are concerned. SMG4 ending before GTA 6. There's a lot of things that have happened before GTA 6, both significant and mundane. We all need to stop, like, moving the goalpost here, as far as things are concerned. I think the biggest loss is that we're not going to... I think the biggest loss here, though, is that we're not going to have if Mario was in GTA 6. That's the tragedy there. That's going to be the tragedy. Or yeah, or if Mario was in Sonic Movie 3, or 4, for that matter. we won't get stupid Mario Galaxy the movie. That's left for somebody else to make. Glitch did a job listing a few years ago. I think they did a job listing like a couple months ago. I just want SMG 34 to be canon at some capacity. What's stopping you from making me a canon? I think at this point, what it's going to be, so Viger, what do you plan to do next? I've got some ideas. Reacting and racing ain't going anywhere. It's just the content that we'll be reacting to will change. But everything else, as far as I'm concerned with, is going to stay the same. Can we just get Sonic Adventure 3? We are. It's called Sonic the Hedgehog 4. And Sonic Adventure 3 was technically called Sonic Heroes, but who's arguing over semantics here? And yes, there is going to be a Super Mario Galaxy movie. Were you not paying attention, Raz?
I'm going to have to educate you in the Discord call next time.
See, I forgot that was a 10-pack of Pocky Sticks. Damn. Thank you, Minecrafty. This has been quite the Wednesday. This has been quite the Wednesday. Was not anticipating it to be this, but I kind of, as I reminisced over these past few days since WotC 2025, there was a lot of dangling threads that I was contemplating, and one of them was this. So the fact that I was kind of anticipating it helped ease me into this as well. I know a lot of people are not handling this well, but I know Reddit is celebrating because it's Reddit and they thrive on misery and self-loathing. Do you plan to do more general gameplay vids and streams from here? Pretty much. Whether I actually make them into like Let's Plays or something, I don't know. If I'm going to play a game and make content out of it, I'm going to stream it. I'm not going to like divide it up into Let's Plays and stuff. I'm going out, or into Let's Play episodes and stuff. I'll just stream it. Although I was expecting this after watching WotC, I wasn't expecting it to be announced today. I guess in a roundabout way, we did get the Wednesday upload that everyone thought was going to happen. It just wasn't the Wednesday upload they were expecting. We ever gonna play Rise again?
We might. I don't know. We'll need to figure that out. Ah, jeez, I'm an old ass man, and all my joints pop like crazy.
You don't have Reddit, though. Yeah, you're better off. I'm just lucky enough that the only real subreddit that I actually am a part of, to any significant degree, is just the Azure Lane subreddit, which is probably the most wholesome and straightforward subreddit out there that has absolutely no division or bad influences out there. You just go there to look at the sexy boat pics and move on with the rest of your day. You gotta find the right subreddit, just like on Twitter, you gotta find the right people to follow, and then everything is all hunky-dory peachy keen. I thought I would be able to do that with the SMG4 subreddit, but I realized they really don't like SMG4 for some reason. And for a while, they didn't like me either for some reason. So I freaking left. And I will constantly call them out for that. Or Jackbox, it's been a while. Yeah, we've been looking. I need to get back into Jackbox as well. I know there's a new set that came out not too long ago. That would be something to look into. Reddit thinks SMG4 is cringe. Well, now they can call SMG4 dead. Like they haven't already been calling it that for years now. It's ridiculous. I don't understand. That could be another long form video. It's like, why does Reddit hate everything? Why do you become a fan of something only to just rag on it all the time? Why do you call yourself a fan when all you do is just hate? That's another idea. And that's when I could highlight the Azure Lane subreddit and be like, look at this one. It's straightforward wholesomeness with big anime boat titties. It's wonderful. It's wonderful stuff over there. Not an ounce of negativity any freaking where. Or Gardic Phone. Gardic Phone might be... I'm a little bit unsure about the drawing game specifically because who knows who's going to join, and then who's going to type what, and then who's going to draw what. Yeah, I would... If I would love to have, like, a drawing stream of sorts with, like, Gardic Phone or Scriblio or something like that. It's just the potential of somebody saying or drawing something a little bit racy. I don't want to deal with that. Fix some rules on commit thing on Gardic Phones. They still is like, here's the text prompt. Draw the text prompt. And then they're like, no, I'm going to draw this instead. And then I get canceled. It's unavoidable. So you just don't. It's like you can... It's like the drawing prompt in Scriblio would be like, draw a couch. And then the guy just draws war crimes all over the frickin' place. It's like... Yeah, no. Don't work like that. You'd have to have just a group of people that know what they're doing and are all there for the exact same reason and abide by those rules. So, like, you see the Vanos crew playing Scriblio or Gardic Phone. It's like they know what they're getting themselves up to. They know what to expect. They know what they're doing. All on the same page over there. So, that's... While the idea is pretty sound, it's just... You can't make that work. You just freaking can't. As much as I would like it to work, as much fun as it would be, no. Just straight up no. Oh, boy. Oh, and it's so good to not be on Twitch either. But that's a discussion for another day that I've already done before, but I'll save it later. Trivia Murder Party 1 or 2. I think I've got both. Yes, I do have both of them. I don't know if they made a third. I mean, Raz, there's plenty of drawing games that could be done there. I just can't stream that. No offense to you, chat. I don't trust you. You know who you are that I can't trust. Finally getting that Among Us stream. If I was ever to stream Among Us, it would never be regular vanilla Among Us because it just wouldn't work. The screen peeking would be insane. Again, to that degree, I can't trust anybody with that. If we were going to do the Among Us stream, it would be exclusively the hide and seek mode. Raz, do I ever call you chat? Because last time I checked, no. I'm surprised we never got an if Mario was in Genshin Impact. I don't think he wanted to touch that franchise at all. Have you seen what comes out of that thing? I don't think he wanted to get into any sort of, like, anime waifu game as much as he could possibly get away with. I think they would go as far as the sponsor, and that would be it. So, because in this day and age, YouTube doesn't really allow anything of the sort on the site anymore. I think it just became a normal facet of the universe after a time. I think more or less it just didn't become a plot point anymore. So it just kind of faded into the background of just being like, this is just how the world works. Just assume that that's what's going on in the background and move on. Yeah, again, it was just probably like plot point achieved. This is just how the world works. If he's not at the coffee and bombs shop, he's down underneath there doing his internet graveyard duties. As you could just assume, is like what's going on the day-to-day basis when the normal shenaniganery isn't going on. That's what's happening. Do I have a favorite era of SMG4? I do have a favorite era. My era. The one where I started that's been going 10 years strong. There is no real era for me. There is just the series. That's it. The Fortnite sponsor. Don't freaking remind me. Do not freaking remind me of that dark, dark time where I began to question SMG4's sanity. Like, how could you do this? After everything I've been through. I mean, Subspace, that's all about the wibbly wobbly, timey wimey shenaniganery that was going on there, so. YouTube remote things that happen, you just move on from that. Who was my favorite SMG4 villain? I would need to think about that. I would really, really need to think about that. There's a lot of pros and cons that I would need to weigh if I was ever going to make that sort of decision. So, yeah, I would need to seriously think about that. Yeah, this has been surprisingly therapeutic. Like, we were all kind of thinking it's like, oh, this is awful, this is bad and everything, and when we talk about it, it's just like, oh, this was all I'm happy, I'm content with my lot in life, and everything's cool and hunky-dory, and we're just reminiscing now. We're just thinking of all the good times. Granted, these next 9 Saturdays are going to be a little bit rough, but this is just what's going to happen. Don't really have a say in the matter. We doing anything else on this stream or just talking? I think it's... I don't really know. I think I might just end it here. I said I might do other stuff. Might. Depending on where the discussion went and for how long. Yeah, the Kingdom Hearts Snapcube video, me, Raz, and mine are tackling that one off stream and at later times whenever we have it in our schedule. And apparently for 2 of them, their willpower to actually do it. So yeah, that's another thing that we're working on as well. That we got before GTA 6, apparently. Yeah, mine doesn't have the willpower. You remember the challenge of the paper airplane of Waluigi Arc? How could I ever frickin' forget that challenge, Jessa? That and arm wrestling. Can never, ever frickin' forget those. Straight up refuse. Surprisingly enough, though, that is... yeah. It's just one of those moments where it's just like, yep, I'm doing something right. And not to mention the specific call out that I stumbled on into my reaction to Mario Tube. And about a month later finding out that SMG4 himself had commented and it was sent to spam. I was like, how freaking dare you, YouTube? You kept this from me for far too freaking long. We've been through a lot, haven't we? We have been through a freaking lot. Yeah, it was Simodnar 2020 that somebody had put my sorry ass in there. So yeah, I got 2 Wadfee suggestions, a comment from SMG4, and a cameo directly in a Simodnar or Simodnar equivalent. I don't want to say that I made it, but I think I got pretty close. Oh, boy. There is, despite it coming to an end and everything, there's still a lot that we've got to do. There's still a lot of things for us to work on. I mean, even when it's all said and done, like officially, December 27th comes and goes, and we've got our usual thing to do. We will just have to, I mean, we got a lot to work with. We have a lot to work with. I wonder if, actually, I wonder if it's even freaking possible. Because now I'm just coming up with an idea of my own that would just be like, oh, you could do this as far as, things are concerned. Let me see here real quick. As far as playlists are concerned. Sort by, no. Okay, by the looks of things, there is an entire playlist that is just the SMG4 series as a whole from start to finish. And as it currently sits, 495 videos strong. Can I resort this to looking at that from... I'll just scroll all the way to the bottom. Like, when does he say that the series starts proper? What is his canonically described beginning? It's a playlist on the SMG4 channel that I'm looking at specifically. Like, when does he say that it actually, legitimately starts? I know it hasn't loaded everything, but it only goes as far as Super Mario 64 bloopers bad stars. But I know it can go a lot further than that. I was thinking somebody could make a playlist of every single one of SMG4's videos, put it in a playlist, and then you shuffle that and have it play in the background. You just have SMG4 TV going. As just like a recurring thing that just keeps looping. Yeah. This is another idea to think about. Another thing that has crossed my mind. But I mean, we've been at this for about 2 hours as a whole, and I have not eaten at all because this whole thing has been sitting on my mind since 3 hours ago. So, I'm just thankful that we still have Glitch Productions. So it's not like Luke and Kevin are going anywhere. Like, the talent that brought you SMG4 isn't going anywhere. It's just... it's here. It's just being moved over. I will go eat eventually. I will eat eventually. Fancy of you joining the membership squad, meme. Much frickin' appreciated. You get the green name and the little pinball magnemite next to your name. Even in death, pinball still lives. But yeah, I've got my work cut out for me. Not only just with this and where we go from here, but I've got my work cut out for me for like future content, future ideas, future streams, all that jazz. So yeah, it's, I mean, how do I end this? How do I end this? I think the best way to cap this whole thing off is, I mean, we're still in it for the long haul for the next 2 months. 9 episodes remain. And one big finale at the end. And I mean, all honesty, like, again, I don't know if Luke or Kevin, I know for a fact they're not in the chat right now, but if they ever come across this VOD at some point, and I don't know if they make it to this point either, I think what we all really should do before we close this out is essentially say the same thing that everyone over SMG4 needs to hear. And that would be just a simple thank you. A thank you to everyone. To all the animators, to all the writers, to all the VAs, to Kevin, and especially Luke. From the bottom of all of our hearts, thank you. Yeah. I've been spending about nearly 2 hours digesting this, explaining it, moving forward with it. But I think that's where we should, at the very least, leave it for today. Yeah. Thank you. I think that is where we'll end it. So, thanks everyone for stopping by. I know this was kind of I wouldn't really consider this a spur of the moment stream, but it was a very necessary one that need to get things out. Need to at least get our mindset and clear the air and sort of come back down to earth and be like, we're all going to be okay. We are all going to be just fine. Everything over on the channel is going to be all hunky-dory. We got backup plans, future plans, all this other stuff that we get to do. So we get to look forward to that while we get to reminisce about what has come and gone. So we've got some very, very poignant Saturdays to work through. And I hope to see each and every one of you there, more than likely after you see the original, then come over to here. I will say this for starters, I will not be doing a live watch for the first 8. But you can bet your ass that we're going to all be here together when the end arrives. And I know most people wouldn't say it, but I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, for the time being, I will leave it at that. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for stopping by, for all the follows and the donations, and in Minecrafty's case, the Pocky Sticks. Appreciate it all. I'll see you guys when I see you guys. As always, toodles, and one last time, thank you, Luke, for everything.